Hello, welcome to my channel or welcome back. So today I'm going to be setting up my personal wide planner. So I moved into a personal wide a few months ago. So for me, personal wide has been everything. So it is only fit that going into 2023, I continue using my personal wide. I am kind of debating between, I have my personal wide and I have an A5. So I'm debating to split up some of my items and to use my personal wide and in conjunction with an A5 or half letter. Um, so stay tuned for that. So let's get started with this personal wide setup. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually do a quick flip through of how I am using a Moterm Personal Versa as a personal wide planner. So what I did was, if you look here in the personal size, it does not fit it. So when it's closed like this, as you can see, you have all this overhang on this side here. So I'm just going to pull these out for now. So you have this sort of overhang, as you can see here, and it doesn't look great. So what I did was I slid this one into the furthest back pocket. So this is the Versa, not the Luxe. And then what I did was I looked at it and I was like, okay, well, it's still overhanging here and that is bothering me. This doesn't line up, here, and you just see everything hanging out. So what I thought was, once I started using it, I was like, ooh, I'm like, this is big enough. I can actually tuck this into the front cover. And then when you open it, you can see that it fits it really nicely. So definitely, if you have a Versa, I would suggest, or if you want to try out personal wide, like buying maybe printables, because that's what I'm using, and then see if a personal wide works out a little bit better, you could play around with having this. So this is like the end all, because you can actually take this out, use it with just a personal size, or if you don't mind the overhang, a personal wide, or you can use it to stick your mini happy planner in here. I do have a whole comparison video, but I did want to show you it in use using a personal wide planner. So I'm just going to do a quick flip through. I hope I don't have anything kind of too personal, but this is just a quick flip through to show you what I'm doing right now. And just, I have my calendar in here. I have my appointments. So it fits great. I have my bill trackers in here that I'm using. And yeah, so that is really it in here. So I'm going to be taking out everything out of here. This was some inserts I got free when I purchased my VDS. And it's just like finding your purpose and, doing all the things. So I'm going to take everything out of this off camera, because this will not most of this will not be going with me into 2023. So let's dismantle this and I am going to be back in a second. Okay, so I have everything laid out so I can go through it, show you how I set things up and such. So this is a personal wide imperfect planner from Moterm. I ordered it from AliExpress because they give you the option of ordering what they consider an imperfect planner that has a bit of flaws. As you can see, they'll point to the flaws on the agenda, which for most people when I did the unboxing, said that it wasn't very noticeable. And I specifically chose a black one because I think it would hide the imperfections best. So I did go ahead and order some personal size rings. And it comes with all of the attachments and like hardware. So you do get your new clips. You are stuck with obviously silver poppers, but that doesn't bother me. But you do get the pieces that you do need to set up your agenda. So you just have to unscrew this, take the part that has a little groove, because that's the one you will need to screw it in, and then you don't need the other pieces, because I am not going to take this whole thing apart and cut it to replace it. So it's very quick, very easy. Just unscrew your, and I will leave timestamps if you are not interested, but for some people, they probably are wondering how to do this. I've done it for a few of my planners. I always change out my rings I prefer gold, and it just literally pops out. It is a dream because if you have, say, a Louis Vuitton agenda, or sorry, a rings agenda from Louis Vuitton, they are so hard to replace, and you need to get like Krause rings, and they are pretty pricey. These are inexpensive. I think they're only maybe under $10 for sure, and very easy to replace. And I love that you don't have to pull the whole agenda apart basically to replace your rings. So, and then you just screw it back in like so. And that is it. You're done. Just screw this back in and you are secure. And I love it because you don't have to line anything up. You know, it has the little grooves where you just stick it in there. So that's it. All right, so that is in nice and tight. And I can peel this off now and show you what I'm doing for 2023. So I am kind of torn because I'm thinking to separate again my personal life from sort of business, social media. 2022 has been rough emotionally and actually physically because I did fracture my ankle. So I am going to be taking things slow going into the new year, but definitely I want to speed things up as well. So yeah, these inserts were actually from cloth and paper that came with my personal wide agenda. So I might use some of these. I have everything sort of put to the side here, but I want to show you what I'm using. So let's see what this one is. Oh no, I have that one. Okay, so I am going with using Infinite Lotus printables. Infinite Lotus, I like the price point. Over Thanksgiving, they had a lot of sales going and really nice discounts. I think they did like a 20 or 25% on their printables. So I did purchase a lot of my inserts around that time. So I have bill trackers, lists. They give you like Q1 to Q4 inserts to track your progress. I have a lot of dashboards that I did receive when I purchased my VDS. If you haven't seen that video, so I have dashboards here. Those are cloth and paper, and I'll explain what I'm putting in here as I go. So the first thing I did was actually print off my entire year. So I like to use only maybe 1 to 2 months, 3 months probably max in my agenda. So as you can see, the whole year is printed off on a 65-pound cardstock. Cloth and paper uses something very similar. Let's see if I could show you like an insert. So as you can see, like their paper is quite thick. It reminds me very much like a cardstock. Maybe the cardstock might be a little heavier, but I couldn't see on their website what the actual weight was, but I am just going to pull out the first month and show you what layout I chose. It is very much the same as what I was using before, and you'll see in a second. So I chose to go with this layout. So you have to purchase everything separate. Cloth and paper, I believe, is like the same thing too. So you have to get your months and everything separate. So here is what my month looks like on 2 pages, and that is for the month of January. Then they give you a cover page. So this is now separate. You could purchase your inserts. So if you don't need a calendar, that's what I liked about that, because sometimes I need a calendar, sometimes I don't. So you have your January, and then as you can see, you have 2 weeks. You have 1 week on 2 pages, and they are just lined. So that is January's setup. It gives you until, it's a Monday. I chose a Monday start. The cloth and paper I was using was a Sunday start. I did enjoy the Sunday start, to be honest with you. I don't know if there was an option for the Infinite Lotus to do a Sunday start, but I didn't check that out. I just kind of put everything in my cart and click cash. I'm out. But this is what it looks like. What I actually did as well, I mentioned in a comment in a previous video, I ended up purchasing an A5. So A5 is very similar to half letter, and I love half letter. And that's why I said at the beginning, I may be going kind of back and forth with, you know, probably using it. So I purchased A5, and these are printed at 82%. So if you want a personal wide, And so for me, it was like a 2-for-1 and a no-brainer, because then I can actually shrink it down again, the inserts to 55%, and I can use it in my pocket planner. So I'm very frugal when it comes to, I like all the things, but I like to use my brain and be frugal when I can. So that's what I did. So if you purchase an A5 insert, 82% will get you a personal wide. I think it was 55%, as I said, will get you a pocket size. So definitely that is going to work for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually put in my 2023 calendar, and this is the whole year. And I always love to, and that's printed on vellum, and I love to layer things. So what I'm going to do is actually put this dashboard that I printed from Pinterest, and I used Canva to size everything down. It's just a let it snow insert. Next, this was actually an accident, but we're going to keep it like this anyways. It is a 2023 vision board. It's going to be very hard to see, and it just has a list of my top goals and then checklists for each month, what my goals are to obtain. So I'm going to use these. I printed it on vellum because it was in the printer, and that was an accident, but I thought, you know what, let me keep it. So this is basically same thing again. You have January to December. What are sort of my plans or my year at a glance? That is the inserts. So I'm actually just going to put in January to June. Put in the first 6 months, and I'm going to layer it so I can see it probably a little bit better. So I'm going to put some cardstock, I think, behind it. But I'm going to just go through these because I have a whole bunch of like different pictures that I have printed off Pinterest that are to the side there. So the first thing I'm going to need is my calendar, and I like to put in here my schedule. So for the calendar, I will just have these 2 pages here. And the other thing was with the personal size Versa, I could not use my side tabs because it was too tight. So I'm glad to be back using my side tabs because they are very helpful. And then next is going to be my like dailies. So let's find all of those, the top tabs. So for today, let's see. So today would go into my first week. So I'm going to put that in there. I can start this December 26th, the week of December 26th, and I'm just going to put in my today page. Okay, and then next, I actually have my inbox. So I think what I should do is probably put the inbox in front of the calendar and everything here. And then next, I actually have my Q1 insert as well, and then it just has a review page. I'm thinking I'm actually going to put it here at the back. And this will have, it's from Infinite Lotus again. It just has your accomplishments, improvements, notes. And on the front, it just has the months here. So January, February, March, which is your Q1, and then your review. So next, I'm actually going to put in my, I think, notes section. So I have some notes here. And these are notes, and I have my finance section. So maybe I'll put that first or a second after my calendar. So that is for finance. Next is going to be my, let's see what these ones are. I'm going to put my notes in. You know what? I don't actually have to use this finance one. So, because I do have one from Cloth and Paper that I can go back to using. So let's put the notes because that one is the second tab, and then finance. And let me grab my notes. So I pretty much purchased everything that I needed from Infinite Lotus. So these are just some lined note papers. I did purchase some other styles like checklists, which I have here. And just a few more note paper. Let's see. So these ones at the front say list, and they are checklists. And these ones are the notes. So I'm just going to mix them up and put the lists and notes in here. And I should have cut those, but I will do that off camera. So my finances, and I'm just going to put another bill tracker in here. And I am keeping up with my expenses and just tracking my bills. I tried doing excuse me. I tried doing my budgeting, but I'm just not a budgeter. Like I think for me, I'm always been used to just I think my biggest concern is always just my spending and tracking my spending so I can curb and see where I'm spending more or not, rather than budgeting each month. Because for me, the budget is between my husband and I. So it's hard to say, okay, well, my money is only going to this or that. So we'll get more into my finances probably in 2023. Next is, I don't know if it's just me, but this weather and, getting sick has just been not fun times. So, yeah, so I have my outbox here. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this top tab. So it says finance. I don't need that because I was just using it as a top tab, as I said, because I couldn't use the side tabs. So I'm going to put this back as my book, like logging. And then I have this outbox, which I'm going to use for this thing here where it says a process of understanding your characters, values, and abilities. And it is a noun. So this is just some character development, which I'll be working on more in 2023. And let's put in a back cover. And I think I may add some of these in here. Let's mix that up because I have them, so why not use it? So I'm thinking behind these, I can probably add some of these pictures. So I'm just going to actually put some slits in here. And that way I can just slide them in behind the dividers. So I'm going to put one behind some just beautiful flowers. So I'm going to put one behind here for my notes. And then I'm going to put it behind my finances. And then for the reading, let's put in this one. And I just have some cloth and paper extra, like note paper there. And these can go at the front here, actually. And put this one behind the vision board. And I have, let's use this. Let's see. I'm going to use this cardstock here. Put this behind this one here. Okay, so that is it. I have this extra notes paper, which I do not need. So let me do a quick flip through and show you my setup now for 2023. So I like to put that there in order to kind of keep it from getting destroyed. So that is what it looks like now that it's set up. As you can see, it now fits very comfortably in here. And I will probably add the remainder of December in here to use. And that is it. So here is my 2023 now set up in my personal wide. So I just have that front page, my calendar. Then I have my vision and my top goals here. Then I have my 2023 for the first 6 months. I will probably put more goals here and what I need to do. So if you are familiar with like a happy planner, usually there's like a perpetual calendar where you can write, birthdays, stuff like that. I'll probably use that for this. Or I should say this for that. And then you have your inbox here, which I'll probably put some sticky notes. And then you have your January calendar. So it says schedule here, which I'm using. And then it will go right into your today. So this is now January. Next is my notes section. And I'm loving the black and white. And then I have here some note paper along with some lists. And then I go into my finance section here. And my finance is like my bill tracking for each month. And then next is going to be, I won't go through all of the papers I have in here, but this is another style, which is supposed to be, I believe, I didn't look at it properly, but as I told you, I added everything to the cart and I said, let's just check out and I'll be able to use it. But it is a grid paper. It just says a topic, date. So what I think I'm going to use this is for like future planning. I have a lot of renovation ideas and things I want to do for our home, and I think this will be good for that purpose. And then I have here where I'm going to be adding the books I'm reading. I will relabel this with my P-Touch Brother printer. And then lastly is all about personal development for 2023 and getting my life together. So that is everything. So this is everything for my Moterm and my personal wide in black croc. I plan on doing everything in black croc, so stay tuned and check out my my playlist for my setups for 2023. And if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave it down below. Tell me what you're going to be using, because this is a time of year where everyone's talking about what is going to work for them for the new year. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys on another video. Bye.